Hello everyone, you are all welcome to lecture number 736, and today's topic is very interesting topic, that is the general properties of alkaloids. Alkaloids are natural product, plant origin and vegetable, and it can be isolated from any part of the plant like flower, fruit, stem, bark, leaves. It can be in any part of the plant. And alkaloid is secondary metabolite, and it has very long history. The word alkaloid is derived from alkali. Alkali, like alka, L-O-I-D, alkaloid means it is like alkali, or we can say it is having basic character. And the word alkali was coined in 1818 by one pharmacist. And these alkaloids, they are having lot of physiological and pharmacological importance, medicinal importance, and it has lot of medicinal properties. Alkaloids are heterocyclic compounds, and the nitrogen is a must in the ring, in any part, either in the side chain or in the ring as a heteroatom. That's why it is called heterocyclic compound. It is a complex molecule, and because of the presence of nitrogen, this nitrogen is having lone pair of electron, and because of that lone pair of electron, these alkaloids are basic in character. These alkaloids are in use for thousands of years. Socrates, some thousands of years before, they were using alkaloids to punish the people, even for capital punishment. For example, quinine is the most violent poison. One drop is enough to kill the man or any animal. And what Socrates were doing some thousands years ago, if any capital punishment is there, or if they wanted to kill somebody, they will just give 1 or 2 drops of quinine as a capital punishment, and the person will die. Then in England, UK, nicotine, that is called tobacco alkaloid, was used as a punishment for those people who were in prison. They were asked to smoke 10 cigarettes, 20 cigarettes, or chew the tobacco leaves, so that they are very much uncomfortable, and it was very much painful to them. So these alkaloids were very much used to punish the prisoners, to kill the people as a punishment, capital punishment, and even nowadays it has lot of political importance, social importance, medicinal importance, and even financial importance. Some 400 years ago, cigar and cigarette was very lucrative business. Even today, people are smoking cigarette and cigar, and they are chewing tobacco. Is because of alkaloid content. And it was a big business, multi-billion business, that is finance. Then opium, morphine, is the oldest business of alkaloid. People were using to get hallucinating effect. Hallucinating effect means it will give you false impression. You are a normal human being, but you may think that you became king. That is called hallucination. So it was used some thousands of years before, and today this is also used as a hallucinating agent. Many we can say very super rich people, they are addicted to cocaine, to heroin, And this cocaine and heroin, they are nothing but derivative of alkaloid, opium. And today, in many countries, it is a capital punishment if you are found with 10 or 20 gram of heroin or cocaine, you are hanged. The reason is that if you are addicted with heroin or cocaine or morphine or that is opium, you are lost. Your utility will not be there. Mentally you will not be sound, you will be weak. So it can even destroy the whole generation if they are addicted. So it has lot of financial impact, it has lot of social impact, it has lot of medicinal impact, and it has lot of financial impact. Medicinal impact means the same cocaine is used in hospital as the best anesthesia. Morphine is used, one of the best painkiller. Quinine is used as the best anti-malarial drug. So these alkaloids, they have lot of importance and in our daily life, their role as a secondary metabolite. And these alkaloids, they are extracted from plant material with the help of extracting with different solvents, because it is basic in nature. So first we will treat the material with acid so that there will be salt formation, and after that we will recover it. So there is method for extraction, and these alkaloids, they are, most of them are solid, crystalline, but there are some exceptions like quinine and nicotine. They are found in liquid form, and most of them, or we can say all of them, mostly they are levorotatory, they are optically active, and their rotation is levo, and mostly they are soluble in organic solvents, but few are soluble in water also, like quinine and nicotine. And there are some exceptions also, that there are in the group of alkaloidal compounds, but they are not basic, like piperine, caffeine. They are there and they are not having such type of character. And these alkaloids, they are found from dicotyledon plant. Actually, in the nature there are two type of flowering plant. One is called monocotyledon, other one is called dicotyledon. Monocotyledons are where there is one embryonic leaflet, single, and if there are two embryonic leaflets, that is called dicot, monocot, and that's why it is called monocotyledon and dicotyledon. Your all lentils like your moong, your this gram, all the pulses, dals, they are all dicotyledon. Means they have two leaflets of embryo. And your rice, maize, they are monocotyledon, means they have embryonic one single leaf or monocot. So all these alkaloids, they are found in dicotyledon plants. Monocotyledon plants, they don't contain alkaloidal complex compounds. And to extract the alkaloids from plant sources is a very difficult task. It's very tedious. The reason is that there are a lot of similar type of structurally related compounds are associated with alkaloids. They have very, very homogeneous mixture of different type of other organic compounds. So to selectively purify and isolate, we have to be very careful, and once it is isolated, then after the extracting or isolating from the plant source, then we will go for purification. And for purification, we are using a different type of chromatographic techniques like column chromatography, thin layer chromatography, paper chromatography, and in this way they are purified, and once it is purified, then we go for structure determination. And these alkaloids, they are precipitated with some chemicals, or sometimes they give color reactions. That's why those chemicals are called alkaloidal reagents. There are specific reagents like Mayer reagent, Denard reagent, and all these reagents, they are known as the reagents of alkaloids. So first I will be giving some general properties of the alkaloids, and after that then I will be taking one by one. But one thing is very clear: if we say alkaloid, means it must contain nitrogen. For example, if it is there, nitrogen must be there as a heterocyclic, and this nitrogen will contain lone pair of electron, and this lone pair of electron, which is sitting over nitrogen atom, is responsible of making all these alkaloids basic in character. Their basicity is because of the presence of lone pair of electron, which is ready to donate or to share with incoming species, and that's why alkaloids are basic. And physiologically, I have already told you that they have lot of importance, and nowadays we can say that roughly 7,000, more than 7,000 alkaloids are isolated and their structures are established, and they are all in use. And in future sometimes we may get some other new alkaloids, but nowadays main work is going on alkaloids, tannins, and some antioxidants. So alkaloid is also one of the most important phytochemical, and because of its medicinal properties. So here we are discussing the general properties of alkaloids, and I have already told you a lot about the alkaloid as an introduction, and in continuation the same thing I have written here. Number one, the alkaloids may be defined as the basic nitrogenous and basic nitrogenous heterocyclic. This one I have given. Nitrogen must be the part of the ring, or part of the side chain, or part of the aromatic ring in the form of pyridine. There must be nitrogen. If there is no nitrogen, we cannot say that it is alkaloid. Sometimes it may be structurally related to alkaloid, but nitrogen is a must as a part of aromatic ring, or part of aliphatic ring, or part of side chain. And because of the presence of this nitrogen, where there is lone pair of electron, it shows basic character. So compound, and they are compound of plant origin, which has an important physiological action. I have told you all these lot of physiological importance, and it is a type of secondary metabolite action when administered to humans and other animals. The word alkaloid or alkaline-like, which refer to the basic nature, that's why it is called alkaloid. This is derived from the word alkali, and which refer to the basic nature of the complex compounds, was coined by the pharmacist, the one pharmacist who coined this name alkaloid, and his name was W. Messner, and it is W. Messner, the pharmacist, who gave the name alkaloid to those secondary metabolites of plant origin, and that is on the basis of physiological and chemical properties of that compound, nitrogenous compound, on the basis of physiological data. Number two, generally speaking, alkaloids possess a complex molecular structure and contain nitrogen in the molecule. They are usually basic, alkaline, and they have significant physiological and pharmacological activities. Number three, most important property of alkaloid is that they are soluble in most of the organic solvents like alcohol, ethyl acetate, acetone, chloroform, etc. But they are insoluble in water, except few exceptions like quinine or nicotine. and that is on the basis of solubility in number of organic solvents. They are insoluble in water, but there is exception also. A number of them give characteristic color with some reagents, chemicals with certain reagents, and many of them are precipitated by certain reagents, and many of them are decomposed when they are exposed in air or in presence of heat. So in continuation number 4, quinine is violent poison. I have already told you that quinine was used by Socrates for capital punishment to kill the people. It is so much poisonous that 1-2 drop is enough to kill the animal. So quinine is violent poison. Quinine is a specific drug for malaria. Cocaine acts as local anesthesia. Morphine relieves muscular pain. It is a very powerful analgesic. And atropine dilates pupil of eye. So these are all physiological, very important properties, and some other properties I have already discussed, that how they are using for hallucination purpose, especially cocaine, heroin, and morphine. The above definition of alkaloid is by no means perfect. For example, so whatever definition I am giving, I have discussed that it is nitrogenous complex compound, it must contain pyridine nucleus, nitrogen which is having lone pair of electron, maybe the part of ring, heterocyclic or inside shell, is not perfect 100%, because there are some exceptions. And for example, has not been recently, so the basic from the above definition of the alkaloid is by no means perfect. For example, the piperine is alkaloid from paper and is neither basic nor it has any physiological activity, but it is included in alkaloidal group of compounds. The second is caffeine. Nowadays caffeine is deleted. It's removed from the list of the alkaloids. Caffeine, which comes from the above definition, has been recently deleted from the list of alkaloids. The majority of the alkaloids are the derivative of heterocyclic basic compound. Number 5, most of the alkaloids are crystalline, solid, but a few of them, like quinine and nicotine, they are liquid, and most of them are intensely bitter in taste and extremely poisonous, like quinine. And number 6, except the liquid alkaloids which are soluble in water, only liquid alkaloids are soluble, like nicotine and quinine, and rest of them are soluble in organic solvents like alcohol, chloroform, acetone, benzene, and but this dissolve slowly in alcohol, chloroform, and benzene. They are all optically active, and most of them they are levo-rotatory. So with this I will stop, because it is a very lengthy general properties, and next lecture will be on the same topic, general properties. That will be part 2. So once again, thank you very much for watching the lecture.